Hello my fellow readers. In this video I'm going to do my quarterly review, all the books that I read from January of 2025 through March of 2025. I'm a little bit behind on this. I actually recorded the actual look at my stats and everything before I'm recording this intro. I just couldn't get myself to do it. I've been too busy and then my brain gets exhausted and I just don't want to do it. So I'm finally recording now. I have read obviously a lot of books, the majority more listened to, but even like reading, I've read a lot arc-wise. So I'll just go through and point out again like my favorites from this quarter. So far so good. I've had a better time, I would say, with books all of April. I've just enjoyed a lot more of them. Like they've stuck with me more, but there were still quite a few standouts January through March. So I'll definitely point them out. If you see any that you like, especially if I haven't focused on it and you really want me to get into it, I will try my best. It's harder if I don't remember all the specific details, and I would feel guilty trying to review it if I didn't feel 100% confident and I would want to revisit it. Not that I won't do it, so you can always just like give me a nudge and see if I'll do it. Because I really do like sharing things that I read and, you know, encouraging people. Like if you're interested and you just want to know more because you want to pick it up, I'd be more than willing to, even if, you know, even if it means a little bit more work for me. I'm fine with that. I think that is it. I'm going to pass it over to my computer self and let you see all the stats. I feel a little bit late with this, but here is my first quarterly review for 2025. And first we'll just go over my little reading log. And this will cover everything from January through March. So even though we're into April, that goes on to the next quarter. But I don't know. I definitely read a lot this first quarter. I have achieved my yearly reading goal, actually. But I always set my reading goal for lower than what it will be, just because, you know, I don't really want to like go overboard. I'm going too far. You can see I haven't even entered my data for this yet. But we ended March right here with 134 books, and the last book of the quarter was Emily Wilde's Compendium of Lost Tales, which was the third book in the Emily Wilde series, and I think it was the last one. I could imagine a revisit to that world, but I do think that the story itself is told, and that like I don't think it needs to have more. I think you could, but I don't think it needs to. I think it leaves at a good place. It's comforting. I don't know. I'm worried that if it goes further, you would have to deal with like sadder things, and I don't want that. I would say for this quarter, I read a lot of, you know, my cozy fantasy and romantasy. I read definitely like a lot of romantasy, and not as many manga or graphic novels, but a few. Like I definitely didn't ignore them at all. I would say another notable book is Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping, which I have been waiting for I feel like at least a year, but it might be over that now. I pre-ordered this ages ago because it was supposed to come out, I feel like, around this time last year, and I had already pre-ordered it. So I feel like I've really been waiting for this for like 2 years. It is not out yet. It'll be out in July. So I read the arc of it. I love it though. So if you were a fan of the first book, well, it's not the first book. Like they're not related. But if you liked The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, if you liked that one, you'll probably also like A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping. They're both by Sangu Mandana, and they're both really great. I liked that one. A series that I started and I look forward to reading more of, Powerless, which is a YA romantasy by Lauren Roberts. Fire in the Sky, which is an adult romantasy by Sophie Jordan. And I did like To Carve a Fey Heart as well. I think this is YA. Thought that was good. I look forward to doing that one. I continued the series by Claire Legrand. So the second book. It's a trilogy, but it's also... Well, actually, no, I don't even know. Is it going to just be a trilogy? I think it's just going to be a trilogy, and the three sisters each get their own, but I could be wrong. But this is the second book that deals with the oldest sister. Pretty sure she's the oldest. Anyway, it was good. I enjoyed this one. Let's see, anything else I want to make a note of? Let's go back. Oh, I really loved the fantasy book, The Tainted Cup. This is not new. I think everybody's been talking about this book. It is really, really good. I recommend it. And I don't know why I'm bothering to do this now, because I'll probably talk about more when I have the covers in front of me. Phantasma, I listened to the audiobook when I was sick, and it was wild. But I do already own the second book, and so I'll be listening to that soon. And another cozy one that's getting an official publication is A Fellowship of Bakers and Magic, but it's super cute. I can't wait to own the new print of the physical book. It got a really cute new cover release, so I'm looking forward to it. Sounds Like Love is the new Ashley Poston that'll be out in August. Oh, not August, June. I saw August here when I'm trying to look here. It'll be out in June. It was cute. It involves kind of a mind connection where two characters share a moment at a concert and then suddenly they can hear the other in their head. I liked it. I've talked briefly about Watermoon. The Sirens is the next book from Amelia Hart, who wrote Wayward, which was very popular. I liked The Sirens. I did the arc of that one. It's out now, so feel free to find it, but it was the arc when I did it. Wizard of Most Wicked Ways. I've talked about the Wimberl House series. This was the fourth book, and I think it's the final book. I think I'm right on that. I think it's the fourth, but it could be the fifth, but I think it was the fourth. Anyway, I believe that's going to be the last one for this series, and I liked the way that it ended. I think it wrapped up everything well. It was a good end of series. I read The Ornithologist's Field Guide to Love, and I thought that was super cute and funny and fun. Quick read. I will be reading the next one, which was on a geographer, I believe. It's a geographer something. And I will be reading that one because I liked this so much. Let's see. I discovered Magnolia Parks during this time. I really enjoyed the Magnolia Parks, the first book, and the second one because I also finished Daisy Hates. So I will be continuing that series, but I'm on hold for the next book, and it's going to be a while. It's so popular. Read the latest Sally Rooney. I thought it was fine. I didn't like it as much as some of the others, but yeah, it was good. It's a good book. Sword Heart. I finally finished Sword Heart. I purchased that like ages ago, and for some reason I just didn't listen to it because I have the audio. But this year I got the new release of the book. They did a beautiful hardcover edition. It's gorgeous. And so I was like, I am finally going to listen to this, and I loved it. So that's another recommendation. If you like romantasy, you will like this book. It was very good. Finally finished Wind and Truth. I have thoughts on it. I did enjoy it. I thought it was, it did its thing. I'm not sure that I was ready to have that half of the series end, but I have to accept it. I still feel like that's kind of a fever dream, and I'm like, do I remember everything that happened in that? Like, it's wild. Fate of Wrath and Flame. You've probably seen some of the other books down here. Is a romantasy series that I read. It was not my favorite, but I liked it enough to where I wanted to finish the series off. But it's kind of like a cross between fairy and vampires. Like, they're fairies, but they are like vampires. So if you like that, give it a try. I've talked about Thoreau's Bargain, which I loved. Highly recommend that one. This one's another one, but I gotta get to the first book and then I'll talk about it. So let's see. You can also see that I did a huge reread of all the Beatrix Potter books. That was, you only had to choose like one book from your childhood. I think it was Book Riot's thing, but I went ahead and I reread all of them because this was my favorite from before I learned how to read to one of the books I learned how to read from. So I just read all of the Beatrix Potter. I've already talked about Language of Dragons, which I adored. It was so good. Onyx Storm, I don't know if I talked about it, but I'm still loving that series, so I'm continuing on with it. Witchhead Atelier, I've talked about a billion times. That's one of my favorite graphic novel manga series. It's fabulous. The Women, it's definitely worth the praise. I loved that book. I thought it was really, really good. Finlay Donovan Digs Her Own Grave, I thought was better than the last book. Yeah, I don't know what's up for Finlay, but I thought that was good for closing a lot of the threads that were left open. And I don't know, I look forward to seeing where they're going to spin it next to see if I want to stick with more Finlay books, but it was good. A Dawn of Onyx is, I believe, the first one of that series, and I have since ordered, since reading this, or around the same time that I read this, I don't remember, but I've ordered the Fairy Loot exclusive edition for this series, but I really liked this one. So it starts with The Dawn of Onyx. It's a good romantasy series. I enjoyed it very much, and maybe I will show off the series when I get the Fairy Loot edition in. Anything else I want to point out here? It's so funny, when the year started, you can see some more Christmas ones. I had a bunch of, Christmas books on hold, and they all started coming in after the holiday, because, of course, people, finish them. So, the beginning of the year, I had a lot of Christmas books. Immortal, I think I talked about, because I got the Fairy Loot edition, but I had listened to the arc of it. I love that book, too. Would highly recommend that book. But I've talked about it before. This is going to sound really bad, but I don't really remember An Academy for Liars. I don't think it impressed me enough to even remember the main points of it. So there you go. One thing that I do need to do is make sure that I update the ones that I've read for the Read Harder challenge. I started to, so some of these are here, but I think I've missed some as well. So I just need to go back and make sure that I've filled in any that I've done. Yeah. And I also have my other reading challenge here that I need to make sure that I've done, because I know I've definitely finished a lot of these, and I have forgotten to put the number on there, but it shouldn't take too long to just get that all done. I don't do that one, so let's hop over to the charts. And this is pretty normal for me. I don't have any that I didn't finish. Mostly fiction, a little bit of nonfiction. This year I feel like I've done even less nonfiction. Is anybody else struggling through this year? I just feel behind on everything. I feel like I don't have as much motivation or energy right now. Hard to imagine why. I don't. It's not like things are insane right now and a mess, but it is what it is. Let's see. Audience, again, read mostly adult books, but there are some YA, some children. This is probably all Beatrix Potter. Oh, there was the one other one that I read, Impossible Creatures. That was children's. And then the form, mostly prose, some comics. I would assume as the year goes on, this will probably grow because I'll probably read some more bigger clumps of manga. And let's see, pub date. This is the current year, and backlist. I think so far this is the closest that I have where it's so evenly distributed between, new books and backlist. But I find that fascinating. Audiobooks, the majority I borrow from Libby, but I've also done, the books from Spotify because I get one free audiobook a month. And then I do still have my Audible account, so, some of those are exclusively Audible, and I like my audiobooks. star ratings, majority of 4, some 3.5, some 3. It was a 2.5 there. I don't remember which one I rated that low. And then 4.5 and 5 stars. I'm not doing that column yet. There's a final column that I don't think it can be fully seen, so I will cover that in a minute. And then majority not translated, but a good chunk that is translated. Now going back up, just to make sure we get everything in here. Nation of origin. The majority so far have been from the US, but I do have some from Korea, Japan, Ireland, Australia, the UK, and Canada. One of the Romantasy series, and I think it's the one I was talking about. The author was Canadian. Well, I talked about a couple that didn't help at all. Oh, this is interesting. There's something wrong with this graph, so something's got to be wrong in the data scheme. I'll check it later because this should have how many books were finished that month. So something is wrong. I bet it has like the wrong year. Book source. Again, we have Spotify, a good chunk from Libby or the library in general. Then my own TBR, so this is books that I've owned for a while. A good chunk from review copies. And then we got a little gift here. We have borrowed, I think, the way that this combines like actually 2 of the things, which I'm not sure that I'm a fan of, because I think I do borrowed for Spotify. And then Audibles here. And then genre, again, does not surprise me. A big chunk to fantasy, a chunk to romance, a chunk to mystery, a chunk to horror. These are my genres, and then general fiction, of course. But yeah, that doesn't surprise me. My biggest read is fantasy. It's my favorite. It always has been. So there you have it. And then format of the books. The majority still are audio. Digital are the ones that, usually the ARCs that I'm reading on my Kindle. And I usually get through about a book a week. And then print would be my print light novels, graphic novels, any other book that I can only read in print. And there you go. Let's take a quick look over at Goodreads. I am probably not going to be too detailed on this, but just let's take a look at the pretty covers. There is one funny story because I just passed Immortal and I decided to buy like a normal kind of edition of Immortal. And I placed this big order with Barnes & Noble with a lot of the pre-orders that I'm excited for. And then, some books that have been out, but I've wanted to get a different copy of. And so they shipped out my order. And I'm still waiting for it. It's like lost in that weird limbo that is happening now. I don't know if anybody else has had this problem. Where like they ship it from Barnes & Noble, right? But then it goes to like this other warehouse or supplier. And it just sits there for like 10,000 years. I don't know what the ordering delivery service, whatever, that Barnes & Noble is currently using, but stop using whatever this process is. It's horrible. I should not have to wait a month. When you say like tomorrow's the day, I expect tomorrow to be the day that my order arrives, not tomorrow's the day that it arrives in some unknown location where it's going to sit for the next month. And especially when it could have been gifts, that I was relying on. So I don't know what they're doing, but I can't stand it. Going back, I did want to make note, Quicksilver is another one that I got through and I really loved. So yeah, I liked this book. And I didn't mention Abby Jimenez's Say You'll Remember Me, but still loving Abby Jimenez, one of my favorite authors. And here we go. I do love looking at the covers, but I gotta say, I miss the old way that Goodreads was display everything. And I don't know if there's a way to change that, but ever since they've done the update, it's more like this where it's just a long line of books. I liked looking at the covers in like a little grid, and I don't know. I'll look when I get to the end to see if it has the grid. Oh, House of Blight. I listened to the arc of, but I also had purchased the hardcover, and I liked this book. This is kind of creepy, gothic, like dark fantasy. I liked it. This one, not so much. Oh, Rebel Witch. Oh, wait. I think I'm not supposed to talk about these. I think that's why. Yeah, this is April. Don't pay any attention to this. This is books I finished in April. Don't look, because there's a lot here I want to talk about, and I can't. But yeah, forget it. I didn't say anything about these great books. April so far has been really good, reading-wise, for the most part. So I'm excited. And there you have it. Here's my challenge that I set. I wanted to read at least 100 books this year. And I did. I'm currently, with April included, I'm at 145, which today will be 146 because I'm finishing an audiobook. And yeah, so no pressure to do anything else. I do still have to finish my Read More challenge and my Read Harder challenge. But other than that, it's not. What do you all think about this too? Like, I don't know. I'm considering joining some other reading trackers, online trackers, to see how I feel about those. But what do you think about how like Goodreads added this? I've been like doing the challenges like they'll do on my Kindle, which I know some people are going to Kobo, and that's fine. I do not discourage that at all. But I've had my Kindle for years, and whatever. I'm not buying a new device just to, get rid of it. So they've been doing challenges like this on Kindle for a while, where you'll have like little missions or whatever that you have to get done per quarter. And they've but they unleashed this upon Goodreads now. And I'm just wondering what other people think. I think the problem that I have with this, like obviously reading month by month is fine, but I feel like if there's other things, which I'm guessing like some of this is, they don't really announce it to you. So I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like I feel like they should do a thing that's like, hey, make sure you do this to achieve this. I can't collect this until December, even though I've already hit it. Isn't that weird? I feel like that should be awarded as soon as you finish your goal. Really? One up your best self by completing more books than last year. What if you don't want to? Like, what if you've read too many? I mean, I guess then you don't get the challenge, but I mean, I don't think you have to encourage this one. Because some people, like me, don't want to do more. Sometimes we think we've done enough and we need a break. But anyway, that's just my wrap up of this quarter. I'm doing my best. I'm trying to enjoy the books that I'm choosing. I'm trying to stay motivated. I've been really exhausted and working really hard, or there's been moments of not feeling so great. You can share with me how you're doing. I think if I do join some of the other sites, maybe I'll do like a video going over them and my opinions of them. It's so easy for me though to default back to Goodreads because I'm just so used to it. So I don't know. I'm in between, but there are like one site I am a member of, but it would just be like getting my reads onto it. And the other one is new. And if you're wondering, I do have a Storygraph account as well, but I have not updated it since I joined it. And so now my problem is that I have at least another 1,000 books I would need to add on there. And that is very intimidating. So I don't know if I'll return to that one. I did like the site. It's just, I get overwhelmed easily. So it is what it is. I'm going to pass it over to you, my live self, to finish off the video. So that was it for my first quarter. I can't wait to see what happens for the rest of the year. I don't know what my reading pace is going to be like. I mean, obviously I do try, usually I try to get through like an ebook a week. I try to listen to quite a few audios a week, but there are some that are longer. So I don't know, there might be some months where I'm cutting back a bit because I don't want to overpressure myself to like super finish, especially if like I have the audio and it's over 20 hours. Like I kind of would rather just pace myself and take my time with it. So we will see. But so far, so good. I guess my goal for the rest of the year would be to get more light novels done. I did read a couple. Well, technically, I think I more listened to the light novels that I've finished this year than read. And I got to a couple, but I really would like to get a couple more in there. I had started that, and then I kind of got away from it because at night I've been doing more like either crafting or I'm too exhausted to do anything but rest. So I guess my goal would be more light novels. I also have to just double check my reading challenges to make sure I'm either on track or that I have marked down all the ones that I have fulfilled, because I feel like maybe I'm behind in filling them out. So I need to do that, and I also need to review all of my arcs. Like, this is why I keep getting overwhelmed and then not doing it, because I start like a list of all the things that I need to do, and then I feel overwhelmed, and then I give up. But there you have it. That's it for this video. Until next time, bye.